Gratitude is not just a fleeting sentiment, it's a profound shift in perspective that can redefine our entire experience of life. Imagine walking through your day with a lens that highlights abundance rather than lack, joy rather than despair, and connection rather than isolation. That is the transformative power of gratitude, a force so subtle yet so mighty that it can elevate the mundane into the extraordinary. When we speak of gratitude, we often think of it as a response to something pleasant, a gift, a compliment, a kind gesture. But true gratitude, the kind that transforms your perspective, is far more profound. It's the ability to see the beauty and worth in what is already there, to find value in the ordinary, and to uncover meaning even in the shadows. It is, as the poet Rumi said, the soul's way of saying thank you for the gift of existence. When we harness this power, we begin to notice that even the smallest details, a soft breeze, a shared smile, a moment of silence, can carry immense significance. Life, by its very nature, is imperfect. It is filled with chaos, loss, and unfulfilled desires. But what if I told you that these very imperfections are what make life so beautiful? Consider this a masterpiece is not admired because it is flawless, but because it conveys depth, emotion, and story. Similarly, your life, with all its highs and lows, is a masterpiece waiting to be appreciated. Gratitude helps you step back from the brushstrokes of daily struggles and view the broader canvas. It whispers to you, look again, there is beauty here. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparison, to measure your worth and happiness against someone else's highlight reel. Social media bombards us with images of curated perfection, making us acutely aware of what we lack. But gratitude dismantles this illusion. It reminds you that your life, with its unique challenges and triumphs, is enough. It tells you in no uncertain terms that your worth is not measured by what you own, but by how deeply you appreciate what you have. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely noted, he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Gratitude is not about ignoring pain or pretending that challenges don't exist. It's about acknowledging them while choosing to focus on what remains good and true. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, wrote that when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Gratitude is that change. It's the deliberate decision to find light in the darkness and to let that light guide you forward. Imagine waking up tomorrow and having only the things you were grateful for today. Would you still have your loved ones, your health, the roof over your head, the air you breathe? It's a humbling exercise, isn't it? Gratitude awakens us to the reality that we already possess so much of what we need to be content. Yet in our rush to chase what's next, we often overlook these blessings. This awareness doesn't just make us happier, it grounds us in the present, reminding us that life is happening now, not in some distant, imagined future. The beauty of gratitude is that it doesn't require grand gestures or perfect circumstances. It's found in the smallest acts of noticing. It's in savoring the warmth of a morning coffee, feeling the sun on your skin, or hearing the laughter of a child. When you begin to see the world through the eyes of gratitude, you realize that there's a quiet magnificence to life that's always been there, waiting for you to notice. Gratitude also deepens our connections with others. When you express genuine thanks to someone, you're not just acknowledging what they've done, you're affirming their value and their impact on your life. In doing so, you create a bond that transcends the transactional. You build relationships based on mutual appreciation and respect. And these relationships become a wellspring of joy and support. As Maya Angelou said, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Gratitude makes people feel seen, valued, and loved. But let's be honest, practicing gratitude isn't always easy. It requires effort, especially in moments of pain or disappointment. When life feels overwhelming, gratitude can seem like a luxury, something reserved for better days. Yet it is precisely in those moments that gratitude is most powerful. It becomes a lifeline, a way to anchor yourself amidst the storm. It's not about denying the difficulty, but about finding a thread of hope to hold on to. It's saying, this is hard, but I'm grateful for the strength to face it. I'm grateful for the lessons it's teaching me. I'm grateful for the chance to grow. One of the most remarkable things about gratitude is its ability to expand. The more you practice it, the more you practice it, the more you find to be grateful for. It's as if the act of appreciating one thing opens your eyes to countless others. This is not just a poetic idea, it's backed by science. Studies have shown that gratitude rewires the brain, increasing activity in areas associated with happiness and reducing stress and anxiety. It's a practice that not only uplifts your spirit, but also enhances your physical and mental health. So how do we cultivate this life-altering habit? It starts with intention. Take a moment each day to reflect on what you're grateful for. Write it down, speak it aloud, or simply hold it in your heart. Be specific. Don't just say, I'm grateful for my family. Instead, think, I'm grateful for the way my partner laughed today, for the hug my child gave me, for the call from my sister. The more detailed you are, the more real those blessings will feel. Gratitude is a practice, not a destination. It's something you return to again and again, each time discovering new layers of meaning and joy. It's not about perfecting the art of being grateful. It's about embracing the journey, flaws and all. And as you walk this path, you'll find that gratitude not only transforms your perspective, but also enriches your entire experience of life. As the renowned author Melody Beattie beautifully captured, gratitude turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, confusion into clarity. It makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. When you live with gratitude, you're not just existing, you're truly living, savoring every moment for the gift that it is. And that, perhaps, is the greatest transformation of all. Gratitude is not merely an internal experience, it is a force with the power to ripple outward, touching lives in ways you might never expect. Each small act of thankfulness creates a wave, one that grows and expands, carrying with it an energy that can transform not just your life, but the lives of those around you. It's a powerful reminder that what begins as a personal choice can have a profound communal impact. Picture this: someone holds a door open for you, and in return you offer a sincere thank you and a smile. That smile might encourage them to be kinder to the next person they meet. Maybe they'll buy a coffee for a colleague or check in on a friend who's been struggling. And perhaps that friend, feeling cared for, will make a different choice, one that alters the course of their day, their week, or even their life. What seems like a trivial moment is anything but. It is the starting point of a chain reaction, one that can echo far beyond what we can see. This ripple effect of gratitude works because it's rooted in a fundamental truth: people long to feel seen, valued, and appreciated. When you take the time to express gratitude, you're giving someone more than words. You're giving them recognition, and in doing so, you're acknowledging their worth. This is no small thing. It is the foundation of connection, and connection, in turn, is the essence of a meaningful life. In a world that often feels fractured and disconnected, gratitude serves as a bridge. It cuts through the noise of busyness, distraction, and division to create moments of genuine human connection. These moments are not just fleeting, they leave an imprint. The simple act of saying, I appreciate you, or thank you for what you've done, can linger in someone's heart far longer than you might imagine. As the writer William Arthur Ward said, feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. Gratitude completes the circle. It turns a silent appreciation into a gift that can be shared. When you express gratitude, it's not only the other person who benefits. Gratitude has a way of elevating your own spirit too. It pulls you out of the narrow confines of your own concerns and reminds you of the interconnectedness of life. It's impossible to feel truly grateful and entirely self-absorbed at the same time. Gratitude shifts your focus outward, away from what you lack and toward what you can give. This outward orientation doesn't just make you happier, it makes you kinder, more patient, and more generous. It creates space within you for compassion, and that in turn fosters even more gratitude. There's a paradox to gratitude that's worth exploring. The more you express it, the more you seem to have. This isn't some mystical phenomenon, it's a reflection of how gratitude changes the way you perceive the world. When you actively look for reasons to be thankful, you begin to notice opportunities for gratitude everywhere. It's as if your mind develops a radar for goodness. And when you share that goodness with others, it multiplies. Gratitude doesn't deplete, it expands. It's one of the few resources in life that grows the more you use it. Think about the last time someone expressed genuine gratitude to you. How did it make you feel? Likely it left you feeling uplifted, validated, perhaps even inspired. And when you feel that way, you're more inclined to pass it on. This is the ripple effect in action. It's not just about grand gestures, it's about small, consistent acts that accumulate over time. It's the handwritten note, the unexpected compliment, the acknowledgement of someone's effort. These are the sparks that light the fire of connection. Gratitude also has the power to disarm negativity. Imagine being in a heated argument where frustration and blame are running high. Now imagine pausing to say, I know we're struggling to agree right now, but I want you to know I'm grateful for the effort you're putting into this conversation. That one sentence can shift the tone entirely. It diffuses defensiveness and opens the door to understanding. Gratitude doesn't erase conflict, but it creates a space for resolution. It reminds us that even in disagreement, there is room for respect and appreciation. One of the most profound aspects of gratitude is its ability to change how we perceive challenges. When you approach life with a grateful heart, even difficulties become opportunities. A failure becomes a chance to learn. A loss becomes a moment to cherish what was. A tough day becomes a reminder of your resilience. Gratitude doesn't minimize pain or struggle, but it places them within a larger context. It reminds you that alongside every challenge, there are blessings if only you take the time to see them. This is why gratitude is not a passive emotion, it's an active practice. It requires effort and intention. It's about looking for the good, even when it's hard to find. It's about recognizing that no matter how small a positive act might seem, it has the potential to create something far greater. It's about understanding that gratitude is not just a feeling, but a responsibility. When you recognize the good in your life, you're called to share it. And when you share it, you inspire others to do the same. There's a beautiful line by Albert Schweitzer at times, our own light goes out and is rekindled by a spark from another person. Each of us has cause to think with deep gratitude of those who have lighted the flame within us. We've all had moments when someone's kindness or encouragement has made a difference in our lives. Perhaps it was a teacher who believed in you, a friend who listened when you needed it most, or even a stranger whose smile lifted your spirits. These moments stay with us because they remind us of the goodness in the world. And when we express gratitude for these moments, we keep that goodness alive. The ripple effect of gratitude isn't just a concept, it's a call to action. It's an invitation to live with awareness, to recognize the impact of your words and actions, and to choose kindness and appreciation wherever you can. It's about understanding that the smallest acts of thank you, a kind word, a moment of acknowledgement can set in motion waves of positivity that extend far beyond what you can see. Gratitude is the antidote to a world that often feels disconnected and rushed. It slows us down, draws us together, and reminds us of what truly matters. It teaches us that we're not alone, that our actions have meaning, and that our lives are deeply intertwined. In expressing gratitude, you're not just making someone else's day better, you're building a better world, one small act at a time. And that perhaps is the greatest gift of all. Life is a series of challenges, a landscape riddled with uncertainty, loss, and setbacks. No one escapes it unscathed. Yet, within the harshness of life lies an extraordinary paradox that is often in our moments of greatest adversity that we uncover the depth of our strength, the clarity of our purpose, and the true value of what we have. Gratitude, though it may seem counterintuitive in times of struggle, is the bridge that helps us cross from despair to resilience. It is the tool that allows us to transform setbacks into stepping stones and wounds into wisdom. Adversity demands a choice. Will you allow it to diminish you, or will you use it to grow? The answer lies not in denying the pain, but in finding something to hold on to within it. Gratitude is not about ignoring the difficulties you face. It is about acknowledging them while choosing to focus on what remains intact, on what you still have, and on the opportunities that lie hidden within the struggle. As Friedrich Nietzsche once wrote, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." Gratitude helps you find that why, the thread of meaning that can sustain you even in the darkest moments. When faced with hardship, it is easy to be consumed by what you have lost. Loss has a way of narrowing your vision, of shrinking the world until all you see is the void left behind. But gratitude expands your perspective. It forces you to lift your eyes from the emptiness and notice the fullness that still surrounds you. It says, yes, this hurts, but look at what you still have. Look at the lessons you're learning. Look at the strength you're building. In doing so, it shifts your focus from what's missing to what's possible. Consider the story of Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist who endured the unimaginable horrors of Nazi concentration camps. Stripped of nearly everything, his family, his freedom, his dignity, Frankl discovered that even in the depths of suffering, he could choose his response. He wrote, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." Gratitude was central to that transformation. It allowed him to find meaning in his suffering and to focus on the slivers of hope and humanity that remained no matter how small. His story reminds us that even in the face of overwhelming pain, we retain the power to shape how we perceive and respond to our circumstances. Adversity, when viewed through the lens of gratitude, ceases to be merely a source of pain. It becomes a teacher. It shows us who we are and what we are capable of. It strips away the superficial and leaves us with the essential. And in those moments of raw vulnerability, we often find a depth of gratitude we never knew was possible. Gratitude for the people who stand by us, for the strength we uncover within ourselves, for the wisdom that comes through struggle. These are the gifts that adversity gives, though they often come wrapped in the harshest of lessons. It's important to understand that gratitude in times of challenge is not about false positivity or pretending that everything is fine. It is not about denying your pain or ignoring your feelings. Rather, it is about holding space for both the grief and the gratitude, the sorrow and the strength. As the poet Khalil Gibran said, "Your joy is your sorrow unmasked gratitude allows you to see both sides of the coin, to recognize that even in your suffering, there is something worth holding on to." When life tests you, gratitude can become an anchor. It grounds you in the present, reminding you that even in the midst of chaos, there is stability to be found. It might be as simple as the support of a friend, the warmth of a sunset, or the memory of better days. These small moments of grace are not insignificant. They are the threads that hold you together when everything else seems to be unraveling. And when you cultivate the habit of gratitude, you strengthen those threads, making them more resilient to the storms of life. There is also a quiet power in expressing gratitude during times of difficulty. It is a way of reclaiming agency, of asserting that no matter how much has been taken from you, there are things that remain beyond the reach of circumstance. When you thank someone for their kindness during a tough time, you're not just acknowledging their help, you're affirming that their presence has meaning. You're choosing to see the good that exists alongside the pain. And in doing so, you're not only lifting yourself, but also those around you. Adversity has a way of revealing what truly matters. When life strips away the distractions, the noise, and the trivial, you're left with the essentials, your relationships, your values, your sense of purpose. Gratitude helps you hold onto these essentials and appreciate them more deeply. It reminds you that even in the face of loss, there is much that cannot be taken from you, your capacity to love, to learn, to persevere. And in recognizing this, you begin to rebuild not just your life, but your sense of self. The transformative power of gratitude lies in its ability to reframe your story. A setback is no longer just a failure, it becomes a lesson. A loss is no longer just an end, it becomes a transition. The challenge is no longer just an obstacle, it becomes an opportunity to grow. This reframing doesn't change what happened, but it changes how you carry it. And in changing how you carry it, you change its impact on your life. There's a profound wisdom in the saying, what you focus on grows. When you focus on your pain, it consumes you. But when you focus on your blessings, however small they may seem, they begin to expand. Gratitude is not a denial of pain. It is an affirmation of what is still good, still beautiful, still worth fighting for. It is a way of saying, yes, this is hard, but I will not let it define me. I will find something in this to be grateful for, and I will let that guide me forward. Gratitude in the face of adversity is an act of courage. It requires you to look beyond your immediate suffering and trust that there is something greater on the other side. It demands that you hold on to hope, even when the path is unclear. But in doing so, it gives you strength. It reminds you that you are not defined by what happens to you, but by how you respond to it. Life will always have its storms, its moments of darkness and doubt. But within each storm lies an opportunity, a chance to grow, to learn, to deepen your appreciation for what truly matters. Gratitude is the key to unlocking that opportunity. It is the light that guides you through the darkness, the thread that weaves meaning into your struggles, and the force that transforms setbacks into strengths. And when you choose gratitude, you are not just surviving life's challenges, you are transcending them. You are turning adversity into a story of resilience, growth, and triumph. And that in itself is something to be profoundly grateful for. Gratitude is not a passive feeling that visits us by chance. It is an intentional practice, a cultivated habit that transforms our lives from the inside out. It is not something that happens to us, but something we choose, a deliberate act of noticing, appreciating, and cherishing the good in our lives. And in making that choice, we discover that gratitude is not just a fleeting emotion, but a profound way of being. It changes how we see the world, how we relate to others, and how we understand ourselves. We often think of gratitude as something reserved for extraordinary moments of promotion at work, a beautiful sunset, a major life milestone. But the truth is, gratitude thrives in the ordinary. It's found in the quiet rhythm of daily life, in the small gestures, and the often overlooked details that form the fabric of our existence. The smell of coffee in the morning, the sound of rain on the roof, the warmth of a loved one's voice, these are not insignificant. They are the moments that make up a life, and gratitude teaches us to see them for what they truly are, gifts. The challenge is that gratitude doesn't always come naturally. Our minds are wired to focus on problems, on threats, on what's missing or what could go wrong. This negativity bias is a survival mechanism, but it can blind us to the abundance that surrounds us. Gratitude, then, is an act of rebellion against this tendency. It's a decision to say, I will not let my life be defined by what I lack. I will see and honor what I have, and in doing so, we begin to shift our perspective from scarcity to abundance. Practicing gratitude doesn't mean ignoring the difficulties of life. It doesn't mean pretending that everything is perfect. Life is hard, it's unpredictable, it's filled with loss and disappointment. But gratitude allows us to hold two truths at once, that life is imperfect, and that it is also filled with beauty. It is the ability to say, this is difficult, but I am grateful for the strength to face it. This is painful, but I am grateful for the lessons it's teaching me. This is uncertain, but I am grateful for the chance to grow. Gratitude doesn't erase the challenges, it gives us the resilience to face them. Building a gratitude practice is like planting a garden. At first, it may feel unnatural or forced, but with time, effort, and consistency, it begins to take root. One of the simplest and most powerful ways to cultivate gratitude is through reflection. At the end of each day, take a moment to ask yourself, what am I grateful for today? Be specific. Don't just think I'm grateful for my family. Instead, think I'm grateful for the way my child laughed when I told a silly joke. I'm grateful for the hug my partner gave me after a long day. I'm grateful for the phone call from my mother who wanted to check on me. Specificity deepens the impact of gratitude. It turns abstract feelings into tangible realities. Another effective practice is writing down your gratitude. Keeping a journal is more than just an exercise in reflection. It's a way of solidifying your thoughts, of making gratitude real and permanent. There is something powerful about seeing your blessings written down in black and white. On the hardest days, when gratitude feels far away, you can look back at those entries and remind yourself of the goodness in your life. As the philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Gratitude journaling is a way of elevating the quality of those thoughts. Expressing gratitude aloud is equally transformative. When you thank someone truly, deeply thank them, you're not just recognizing what they've done, you're affirming their value. You're saying you matter, your actions matter. And in doing so, you strengthen the bonds of connection that hold us together. Gratitude, when shared, becomes a bridge between people. It fosters trust, kindness, and mutual respect. It is, as Maya Angelou wrote, a gift you give back to the giver. And the beauty of it is that the giver often receives just as much as the receiver. Gratitude also thrives in mindfulness. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to rush through life, to move from one task to the next without pausing to appreciate what's in front of us. Mindfulness is the antidote to this. It's the practice of being fully present in the moment, of noticing the details, and of allowing yourself to feel the richness of the here and now. When you savor a meal, when you listen deeply to a friend, when you stand still and watch the sunset, you are practicing gratitude. And in those moments, life feels fuller, more vivid, more alive. The impact of gratitude extends far beyond individual moments. It has a way of weaving itself into the fabric of our lives, shaping how we respond to challenges, how we interact with others, and how we see ourselves. It changes our inner dialogue, replacing self-criticism with self-compassion, frustration with patience, and doubt with confidence. It reminds us that we are not defined by our failures or shortcomings, but by our capacity to learn, to grow, and to appreciate. One of the most profound aspects of gratitude is its ability to create a positive feedback loop. The more you practice it, the more you find to be grateful for. It's as if gratitude opens your eyes to a world you didn't know was there. You begin to notice the kindness of strangers, the beauty of ordinary moments, and the resilience within yourself. And as you notice these things, you feel more connected, more hopeful, more alive. This is not just a poetic idea, it's backed by science. Studies have shown that gratitude rewires the brain, increasing happiness, reducing stress, and even improving physical health. Gratitude, it turns out, is not just good for the soul, it's good for the body and mind as well. But gratitude is not just about what it gives to you. It's about what you can give to others. When you live with gratitude, you inspire those around you. You create a ripple effect, spreading positivity, kindness, and appreciation wherever you go. You become a source of light in a world that often feels dark. And that light, no matter how small, has the power to illuminate far more than you might ever realize. Life is a series of moments, some joyful, some challenging, some mundane. Gratitude teaches us to see the value in all of them. It reminds us that even on the hardest days, there is something to be thankful for: a lesson, a connection, a glimmer of hope. And when we make gratitude a habit, we create a life that is not just lived, but truly cherished. Gratitude is a practice, a mindset, a way of moving through the world. It's not about waiting for the extraordinary. It's about finding the extraordinary in the ordinary. It's not about denying life's challenges. It's about embracing them with grace and resilience. It's not about perfection. It's about appreciation. And when you choose gratitude, when you practice it daily, speak it freely, and live it fully, you unlock a life of joy, connection, and meaning. Because in the end, gratitude is not just something you do, it's who you become. And that is the greatest gift of all.